Hello, hello. First, Eddie Glez. Did I say that right? Very bad connection. Hello, second, Sandy Diaz. It says very bad connection. Maybe some people should get off the internet. Oh man. I don't even know. You can't tell if there's anybody on here. Oh, there it is. Hello, 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 hello. What's up? Alright, so I don't know if you guys noticed the title on there. It's live from Athens. Yeah, if you follow me on my other social networks, Facebook and Instagram, you know that I'm been here for quite some time now. And we're actually a few days, not all that. Saludos a Mexico y a Riverside. To start it off right away, just to get this one out of the way. Abuela is not with me. Okay, we all know that Abuela doesn't like to travel, so there's no way I would have gotten her to come all the way to Athens, Greece. So Abuela is not here, and I wanted to take this time just to talk to you guys, answer questions. I've been staying for a few days in Athens and been traveling, checking out the ruins and the temples and all that. Hola, saludos, Dalila. Y quiero decir primerísimo que la abuela no está conmigo. Estoy aquí en Grecia y estoy de vacaciones con mi familia y quería tomar este tiempo para hablar con ustedes por si algún día tuvieron el deseo de venir a Grecia, así poderles resolver preguntas y si tienen preguntas. So if you have any questions, so you're having problems watching it? Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so let's just kick it off. If anybody, I don't know, has anybody ever thought about coming to Greece at all? We'll just start off with that question. And it is 10 p.m. here where I'm at. So, Laura says it's fine on her end. YouTube went back in, now it's fine. Okay, hello Arkansas, hola, saludos. No se mira bien. Bueno, parece que la señal está entrando y saliendo, so we'll try to do this as best as we can. Hello from San Pedro, San Diego. Hello, thank you for tuning in. So, has anybody ever thought about coming to Greece? And like I was saying, it's 9:30. 10 o'clock over here, so I'm like ready to knock out, but I thought I'd come on here to just talk to you guys about Greece. Hi, yes, I'm here on vacation, and so let me start off by telling you guys it was about you want to go in the next 2 years, and you do need to save up because we all know that going to Europe is a little expensive. And so, but the cool thing is that the euro is down, so it's not as bad as I went to France and Italy, I think about 2 years ago, and things were much, much more expensive. So a Coke actually now costs you about 50 cents to 60 cents, as before I think it was costing us like $2 or something like that. So prices are down, so things are a little bit cheaper at this time because the euro is down. And I see the connection is bad again, so I'm going to wait until I see the flow. Okay, there we go. Buena Park. No, in Brazil, no. Yeah, I think it's a bad signal on my end. I'm using the Wi-Fi here, so okay, so our flight was about 12 hours. We stopped in Canada for a layover. You're not seeing anything again? All right. Yeah, it is. The connection is red, so it's pretty bad. Saludos a Modesto. Sí, Grecia es muy bonito. Greece is really really nice place. So let me give you my experience upon arriving here in Greece. It keeps buffering. Okay, so I'm having everybody in the room turn off their gadgets because I think that's what's going on here. But so what we actually did was we rented a car so that we could travel here in Greece. But the cool thing about Greece, it's not that big. So the main attractions, you can probably stay in the city. And then just if you stay central in the centro, you know, like you are able to just walk to like the main attractions, which are the temples is really what you're here to see. And thank you Pennsylvania, hello. So when I first got here to Athens is where we're at, I initially looked at my surroundings because that's what we all do, and I saw a lot of graffiti, and I was like, oh dang, this looks scary. Too much graffiti, like a lot of graffiti all over the walls. And I was a bit skeptical at that point, and I was like, why are we here? But as we got to know the city, and as we got to walk around the city, it became more apparent that it was I have a shirt. Sorry. Oh man, you guys notice way too much things here. But the streets are safe. Like any other big city, you obviously have to watch for pickpocketers and things like that. But aside from that, you can walk the streets and it's not bad at all. People aren't really friendly, but they're not bad. So, you know, as long as you're courteous and respectful, you know, they're welcoming to you. So, you know, I mean, you don't want to go to another country and just be an obnoxious American. You want to, the thing about traveling is you want to blend in with the culture, because you want to, I mean, you want to get the most out of where you're at. So you want to kind of become or mesh into the culture. When we travel, we don't travel very extravagant. We travel, we're minimalist when we travel. We take the least amount of items that we can, and we don't come or go anywhere with, you know, watches, gold watches and gold jewelry or fancy purses, or anything like that, because we don't want to stand out. You don't want to stand out. I remember in the past when I used to travel to Mexico, you always wanted to go to Greece. It is as beautiful as you think it is. The waters are really clear. Everything is just, you know, pretty picturesque. Like any big city, though, you will have the downtown area that obviously has like the beggars, like I said, the graffiti on the walls. It has you know, different areas. Like there's even like this area that look like Los Callejones, and where they sell like all the trinkets and all those things. And that area, actually, that's where all the people from India, because they have a lot of immigrants from India, and I think it was Pakistan, that are in that area. So they're hustling there, and you know, it's pretty congested. Yeah, sisterhood of the traveling pants vibe, exactly. So like cars are on top of cars, and you want to make sure you got your eyes open, because if a car comes, they're not going to stop for you. And so it's crazy. How long are we here? Today was my last full day. we leave tomorrow to our next location. Have you been to the Zeus temple? That's one of the locations that we did not get to go to. We passed by and we saw it, but we did not go into the attraction because we just kind of ran out of time because we are moving. How is the food and what's my favorite dish? Well, the food is good. I really like the food. Hello, I like food. Anyway, we had my daughter, she's got a pretty exquisite palate, and she got like lamb chops with potatoes, which was really, really good. I don't, I like street food. So the gyros, I really loved the texture of the chicken and the flavoring of the chicken. I wish I knew how to make that because it's super tasty, and they just grill the chicken on little sticks and then they just pull them off and put them on the flatbread, and it's really, really delicious. But I missed that other question. I didn't see it. So today is our last full day here. Like I said, it's like 10:30 p.m. right now, or somewhere around those lines. So we're getting ready to move on. Did you all rent a house or hotel? Which is cheaper? Hello. Do you have Nike shorts? Yes, I do have Nike shorts. So we traveled in different ways depending where we're at. Sometimes we do get hotels. Saludos, Dallas, Texas. Aaron, hello. And then there's other times where we rent like mini apartments or like flats. Do you need to take another flight to see the beaches? Well, that's what I was going to tell you. Our first location was in downtown Athens, and we were probably 10 minutes walking distance from all the main attractions, which was, what were the main? Acropolis? Yeah, the Acropolis. And all that section, we were walking distance, and the museum, Acropolis Museum, and all those little downtown shops and all those things, we were like 10 minutes walking distance, and we stayed in a hotel. We were, I think, on the 4th floor. Hello from Anaheim. And we were on the 4th floor, and we had a cute balcony. If you follow me on Snapchat, I was posting like all the time about having coffee, like just sitting outside and having some coffee in the morning, and just, overlooking all the way down to the street, and just watching people pass by, and watching people through my window into their window. I was being a looky-loo. Should we expect a video recap the vacation? I would love to watch. Yes, I will be I'm trying not to miss all these messages, but yes, I will be making like a short little vlog of our trip. So our first location, we stayed at my Snapchat name is SillySill2U. It's SILLY, the number 2 and the letter U. So I'll put it down below after the broadcast is over, just in case you guys want to follow me there. But SillySill2U, and that's pretty much it. So after, I think it was 3 days in downtown Athens. Was it 3 days? Yeah, about 3 days or 4 days being in downtown Athens. We moved coastal, so which isn't too far from where we were staying. I think it was like 15-20 minutes away. It was coastal. And so we moved to another apartment complex, and we're on the 5th floor, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You overlook the area, and so we're like across the street from the beach, so we can go to the beach anytime. SillySill2U. We can go to the beach any time that we want. So what we used to A lot of people were asking me on Snapchat, okay, so how do you find apartments? How do you know where to stay? So what we do is we go on Airbnb. It's the, symbol and B, and you type in the location. It's kind of like when you look for a hotel on hotels.com. It's the same kind of concept. There it is by Henry Martin, airbnb.com. So if you go on that website, you're able to locate different available apartments or rooms, and locations, and they're pretty affordable, sometimes way better than, well, most of the time, way better than a hotel price. And what I gotta say here about Greece, I did not see many fancy hotels. A lot of the buildings are pretty old. There's not much like new buildings or anything like that. I think the only area where we saw things that were moderately new was where like the Olympics had taken place. But what was so weird was that those buildings that kind of looked a little more modern, they were empty and unused. So they didn't even like continue using them for something else. They just closed them down and shut them down. Yes, it's true. So the good thing about going through Airbnb is that you can get an apartment fully loaded. Like, they supply you with pretty much everything other than food. So you have a full kitchen. So when we get tired of eating out, we can come home, go to the grocery store, and just buy food and make food, which is, I've been doing that in this second location a lot more than what I did in our first location. I think the first location I didn't cook at all, just breakfast. Airbnb, that's the website that we went through to reserve our apartments when we travel, so that you don't have to stay in hotels, which are a lot pricier. So there are people, locals, who rent out their apartment, and it's usually like their second home, so they don't live in the apartment. They don't live in the apartment, but they rent them out to people who travel into their town. Yes. So we're right now in a this is our 1-bedroom apartment, but it's fully loaded with a second bed in the living room. So it's a full kitchen, and I'll try and turn you guys around. Yes, I know you're missing Abuela, but we're doing some traveling right now, and she's home and resting, and well, I hope she's resting, but yeah, so we're not together right now, but soon enough we'll get back into the kitchen and make sure that you guys get the videos that you're here for. But I just wanted to come on here because I know I had a lot of questions from you guys asking me about how I did it to travel here and stay in apartments. So that is the main thing why I came on here. And we have a pretty nice apartment complex, and it's super private. Nobody bugs you. They leave you alone. And we're the loud Americans, but we try not to be loud. And we have a kitchen that's fully loaded. They put everything you can possibly, need. Yes, and Henry Martin, $50 per night is what we got this. Do you Mexican abuelas ever rest? I don't think Mexican abuelas ever rest. I never see my abuela rest, even when she's supposed to be resting. But, yes, $50 a night is a good price, because I would show you, but we're like I said, we're packing and getting ready to move on to our next destination, which I'll come back in here and show you guys possibly. But let me see if I can turn you guys around, and I'm gonna turn around this way. So, so this is the kitchen. It's fully loaded, very modern. It's not even old or anything like that. And as you can see, the cabinets are new and everything. And they even TVs and balconies. You can't see the balcony, but the color even in the walls are pretty modern. And we have a full bathroom, a full room, nicely decorated, and you can't beat it. You have so much privacy. Nobody, no abuela to cook for you. Yes. You know, it's funny that you say that, because I'm glad you said that, because abuela doesn't only cooks for me when we're videotaping. So on the regular, she's not cooking for me. I don't allow her to, unless she's really wanting to, but I don't like her working or doing those things. So I'd rather do that for her. So if she comes to my house, I cook for her, unless we're videotaping. So yeah, and I'm missing hanging out with those two ladies, my mom and my abuela, but we'll be home soon enough, and we'll be getting back into the kitchen. Yeah, I should let her cook that. But if you guys have any questions, you know, yeah, like I said, we don't travel fancy. We like to be part of locals. We save a lot more money by shopping where all the locals shop, and it's just easier to travel and get around. Yes, I am very blessed to have those ladies in my life. And what is funny, well, I guess it's not funny. It's funny to me because I'm so used to, because I'm obviously live in Southern California, but there's definitely no Mexican food here. There's nothing. Like, and in the mornings, it's weird because when I wake up like super mega hungry, because say I wake up like at 4 in the morning, 4, 5, 6. It would be 6 p.m., so that makes sense, right? And so I wake up like super duper hungry, and all I think about is like tortas and tamales and pozole. And I'm like, when I get home, I'm gonna make, tamales. I'm like, tamales? You don't even make those until, December. But I think when I get back, I'm gonna be making some tamales and have my grandma over and just recap on the trip with her and my mom. So that should be very cool. Finally getting some real Mexican food. Tourist areas are more expensive. Yes, they are very, very expensive to be at. No tacos here. So I think I lost like 2 pounds already from the lack of tacos in my life right now. But I'm okay with that because, I'm getting other experiences. So, saludos desde Arizona. So, yeah, one of the mistakes that I made on this trip, because this is not my first trip abroad. California, no Mexican food in... Oh, wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, maybe you should start cooking it and selling it or something. That would be good for you to do in Pennsylvania. There you go. Idea for you. No jalapenos here either. So I've been making pizza, pasta. How is it over there? Hello from Colorado. So the weather is super hot, mega hot. And the humidity is pretty up there. And so, yeah, I was hurting the first couple days. And but then we moved coastal, and today we actually were cold, a little cold, but we still went to the beach and swam in the ocean. Once the water is actually cold, I was expecting the water to be warm for some reason, and it wasn't warm, and I was pretty upset about that. Thank you. Where's Abuela? Abuela is home. Are you taping your Greece trip? Yes, I'm trying to. Your family, I missed your thing. Okay, family is thinking of going to Costa Rica, but hey, we might look into Greece. Please subscribe to my channel. Okay, how long have you been there? You know where to get cheap tickets for airlines? Southern Cali, it's hot out here, girl. Oh, man. Okay, so, wait, I missed the questions. Are you taping? Yes, I'm taping the trip. Costa Rica is good, but it's a different experience. I think everywhere brings a different experience, so it depends what you're looking for. I recommend it. I recommend Costa Rica. I don't know if you saw my other channel. I mean, I don't know if you saw my last year's trip was Costa Rica, so you can find that video and check it out. Good grief. How long have you been here? I've been here since Tuesday. So I don't even know what today is. Monday? Yeah, so I've been here almost a week. Where did you get for cheap flights? Well, flights, you can't really bargain with flights. You just got to pay whatever the price is on the, local, on the regular websites that you buy tickets on. So yeah, whatever the airfares are going for at the time, you gotta just snatch them if you see something cheap. For our, which one was the one that was $1,000? Oh yeah, when we went to Europe, when we went to Paris, yeah, when we went to France, when we had booked that flight, I remember the tickets were going for like 1,500 or something like that, and all of a sudden they were at 1,000. So you just gotta be, and we just snatched them. So you just gotta be on the lookout constantly. I would say start looking a year ahead of time if you kind of know the time that you're gonna start traveling. I would say start looking a year ahead of time and kind of like be scoping them out to see if there's like a change in airfares and stuff like that. But for the most part, you're not gonna find extreme changes, but you will find some that are cheaper than others. But you can definitely save, like I said, by booking your own apartment and stuff like that. Yes, I am live now. The screen froze. I think it's okay still. How's the weather? The weather is really, really hot, but manageable. So we kind of tried to like get all the walking done in the morning. Yes, you're right. I should experiment with Greek fusion, Greek and Mexican fusion foods. So we tried to do a lot of our activities in the morning, and then we would take a break after, like, I would say about 1 or 12, between 1 and 4, we would kind of, come back home, and then take a nap because, the time change, and then we would head back out again. So we made sure that the peak hours we were not out. We made sure we were hydrated. That's the thing about traveling. Like, we already know what to do to make sure that we don't get sick. So a lot of people always go abroad and they come back sick. And there's a lot of reasons why that happens. And I think we kind of nailed down how to make sure we stay healthy when we travel. So number one, of course, everybody knows the water situation. So it just depends where you're at. Read up on it to see how safe the water is, and make sure that you know where you can drink and where you can't. Like, for example, when we were in Rome, in Italy, there was a lot of natural springs or like faucets you can drink out of, and the water was supposed to be one of the cleanest waters you can find. So when we were walking through the streets, we would just open up like a faucet that was on the wall, and we would just refill our bottles and just drink it. I was in France 2 years ago, so I went from France to Italy, and so in France we didn't really drink the water because we just didn't. But in Italy we were pretty free to drink the water. So it just depends where you go. So make sure you read up on that. You need swimming suits, make a pool. Okay. And the other thing is don't overeat. Oh, awesome. A Greek husband. Awesome. So cool. So you make sure that you don't overeat. Like like for example, when you go to Mexico, everybody always talks about the Montezuma revenge. Yes, and I should make some tamales and just come over here and sell them, right? They probably sell fast to all the gringos that are here, like just hanging out, being beach bums. But don't overeat. That's rule number one. Another rule is like don't overeat. I know the food is amazing when you travel and you taste. Your taste buds are like going crazy and everything, and you want to eat everything. Um, don't overeat. That's another rule for travel, because if you overeat, you're gonna get sick. Whether you're here, whether you're in Mexico, whether you're in the USA, if you overeat and you're not used to eating a lot, you're gonna get sick. So control yourself, people, and just make sure that you stay hydrated. That's another thing. Don't drink the water, but buy bottles of water and stay hydrated. That's another. Yeah, that's another thing that you should make sure, like, especially where it's hot, like here, it's been blazing hot. So we always carried water, and we made sure that we had water. We made sure we had hats on or visors. We even bought like generic Asian umbrellas that they were selling on the streets. And so we made sure, because, you don't want to get your head too hot, and just get like heat stroke or anything like that. So those are like major keys. And don't get ice cubes in your drinks. Yeah, I know a hot Coke is nasty, so just drink water. I mean, you want to stay hydrated, so just skip the soft drinks unless you really need one every once in a while. Take one in, but I would say stick to water for the most part. So, yep, those are my little travel tips. So if you guys don't have any more questions in regards to Greece, then I think I'm going to end the night, since it is getting pretty late here and we have an early flight. As you can tell, I'm super tired. My eyeballs are going cross-eyed. And I went swimming to the beach. The sunset here the sun doesn't set till like almost 9 p.m. So we were in the water for a very long time. Came home, showered, ate some pizza, which the pizza is not that great here, but it'll do. And so I just came on here. That's why I look crazy, so don't be judging. But that's pretty much it. Well, have a wonderful rest of vacation. Thank you. I'll be back to the States soon. And I probably will do one more live feed from my next location. And that will probably be at the end of the trip. And then I'll see you guys back at home with Abuela and my mom and just everything. Keep us in your prayers as we continue traveling, that we get home safe to make more authentic Mexican food. Oh, and one more thing. If you haven't subscribed to my new channel, Masa Masa, make sure that you do, because that's where I will be posting my travel vlogs of Greece and then my next location. And of course, all the other fun videos that I have in store. Thank you, Nydia, for not judging me. And I appreciate everything. So keep us in your prayers. And I'll keep you in mind tonight as I hit the bed. Alright, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Mas Masa. And we'll see you next time. Latina in the house.